kidding. Hello, my name is John.
And I'm Nikki, and we are the bosses next door.
And today we're talking about it's busy season.
Dude, that was like almost a Michael Buffer.
Right?
or Bruce
Just
Buffer.
without all the money.
Right, yeah.
He's a lot shorter than we thought,
We
actually.
did see him in person, actually.
Yeah, I was like, damn, he's
a couple
shorter.
weekends ago?
Like probably a month now.
3.
3 weeks.
Yeah, 3 weeks ago.
Yep. Yep.
Pretty neat.
Sean O'Malley was sitting up to the right of us.
Yes.
That was pretty cool.
We were on a JSX flight.
Oh, man, if you haven't had that pleasure, you should probably go try it. It's pretty awesome.
It was pretty neat.
Yep, absolutely.
Yes.
So today we're talking about busy season. And
Busy season.
What we're finding is that there's a lot of people that are not prepped for busy season. Fair? A lot of companies.
Sure.
And so we were prepped for busy season at our lawn care company. I don't know if we were prepped for this type of season. We are way ahead of schedule. So for us, we'll add 2 to 3 trucks a year or whatever, typically, I think.
Right.
We're on pace. We already filled 2 trucks. We have enough work to fill a 3rd truck, and we're in March. We just ended March yesterday.
It's rolling.
It is rolling. We're close to almost 400 new customers in the first 3 months. We've broke records, I think, January and February for new sign-up on customers, new leads, stuff like that. But what we find is that people want, it's like the turn of the calendar.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, man, it's so tough. And you get into November, December, and then January's like, but when January hits, it's all better, right? But if you haven't prepped yourself, put your processes in place, made sure that your pricing's right, especially with all the fuel and stuff that's going on right now, that's what we're in the middle of doing.
Right.
If you're not checking all that stuff and you're not ready, then you're going to get the same thing happening next year. Fair enough?
Right, and I don't think it pops off for us in January. It's always like that mid-March, and then early April. We're like, holy crap, here we go.
Let's go. But we have hired a ton of people. We have amazing people working for us. We have a great pipeline of people.
Yeah.
We had our trucks. We were ready to go, and we blew right through them. We've already bought 3 more trucks right in the middle of building all of them.
Yeah.
So it's like it hit us a lot earlier. But I think all the prep we've done and the experience we've had over the last 14 years has really set us up for being ready, right? So how many companies do you talk to in either sign up or use one of our services or have called and are interested in a service that we have or just people who've gone and done a shop tour and those kind of things and they're like, yeah, I'm going to do this when. But by the time you need it, it's too late.
Right. You got to prep in the off season to be ready for the busy season.
Right.
What stress are you feeling right now since you've brought in a lot of sales to Little John's?
Yeah.
I mean, and Call Boss too. You and Maggie tag team that really well. But with all the sales and all the people saying yes, right? What stress are you feeling? Is it more of like, how are we going to complete the work? Do we have enough people? Are the trucks going to be ready in time? Like, what's your biggest stressor right now?
I don't know. I mean, we're having some of the issues with some of our trucks, like just getting them rolling like we need to.
Yeah.
I think what's really interesting is that we've had so much work hit us.
What does that mean? Getting our trucks ready and rolling like we need to? Are we talking like the actual truck working or being built out? What do you mean?
I think it's a combination. So we build our own trucks in house. We've never had a guy that's like, we're building jigs for him right now. We've tried to do it in the past. We haven't now been able to make that happen. We could go out and buy a truck and spend 40, 50, 60 plus thousand a piece. We spend a lot less than that because we have our own design. We don't run trailers typically. We just have our own setup that we feel like works really well for us. I think the biggest stressor for us is make sure the team is set up for success, especially at this stage of the game right now. Like the team is set up for success and that we're moving in the right direction. I think that if you're not careful, like that can get away from you, gets kind of squirrely, and you can lose your team inside and out if they're getting too burned out, there's too much pressure. But we also set some pretty high goals revenue wise and profit margin wise. And I think that has been awesome because you're seeing them like, okay, we're doing this. Oh my gosh, we've already sold this much money. We're going to do this. We already have this potentially down the line. Like we are really close. Like I'm really close personally, and I don't necessarily do Little John sales. We have a sales, small commercial sales, and then we have somebody who does our enhancement stuff.
Residential sales.
Yeah, residential sales. But I'm getting real close in the last 4 weeks, if it's 4 weeks, to clip about $500,000 in recurring revenue. And all this is for small work. This is a lot of small jobs, either small commercial or groupings of properties, stuff like that. Networking, being right time, right place.
Sure.
Being prepared for the season, I think was a big one for us. We picked up 80-something properties. They got dropped on a big property management company team. We were already kind of in talks with them. Whole backstory to that. They fell on the spot. I was like, I'll take everything. And they're like, there's no way. I'm like, got you. And we did it.
Yeah.
Now, it took Nikki and I going to Tucson to finish one of them on a Saturday and calling 2 crews in on a Saturday to finish the add-on stuff that other companies couldn't get done. But we were prepped for the season. Is that fair?
Yeah.
And I think, in your opinion, so I guess to answer your question, I think it's just making sure the team is good, that we're set up for success, those kind of things. There's a lot of moving parts, but like if you're the support staff for them, I think you're going to be good.
Well, and bringing in new people too, because we've had a lot of people come through the door lately with good experience.
Oh, great experience, yeah.
So that's been a huge factor as well.
I think it's a good factor. I think the culture speaks volumes.
Right.
So we've had like kind of this clips of like these guys have been with us for a while. We'll add 1 or 2, and then you know pretty quick if somebody's not going to fit. We'd added a gentleman, and he came over. Their company had been acquired or had acquired other companies, and they didn't restructure the growth for the growth, and so it was massive. They tripled their size or whatever. But what's happened is that they've had a ton of employees leave, and not leave because like they left. They were leaving already. Like we've had guys walk in the door. And we've been telling, like, especially for that company, hey, you need to give your 2 weeks, you know, this, that, and the other, right? We don't want to, like, take guys and hurt them in the company.
We never poach, and we never try to get people like, well, come over here, it's better. We don't do that. So it's like, if you want to leave somewhere you're at, do it the right way, and we'll take you.
Yeah.
But it's got to be the right way.
Yeah, absolutely. And so what's interesting is that we've had guys come in, and they're like, oh, I've already put my 2 weeks in. I'm like, what? And he goes, I'll show you my letter. Really? He goes, I can't do it I can't do it at that particular company anymore.
Right.
And I'm like, holy cow, you guys are quitting, coming over here. And he's like, well, if you don't hire me here, there's other places, but there's people here who say this is a great place.
Right.
And I think that has been a pretty amazing.
It's huge.
Yeah.
It definitely speaks to our culture.
Hello.
Payroll, don't have to do that anymore.
Yeah.
But I'll check it later. But it speaks to our culture, right? Yeah. Guys are getting hired here and they're like, hey, this is where I went and I'm happy. I'm making good money. I'm working 4 days a week. And other people are hearing it and they're like, let me come check it out. Yeah. And it's really cool. And
we're still hiring. Like we have people, so in Arizona, we have people all year round. We don't lay people off. But we're still hiring people. Mm-hmm. And we can barely, like we were sitting fat for about a week and a half, 2 weeks. And then we picked up all that work, and then we kept picking up work, and we need more guys to come.
Which is crazy because the other day I was in here going, we just hired like 5 people. How are we short? But it's just the amount of work that people are saying yes to, residential and commercial.
Residential and commercial, yeah.
Right. So with that, we've got to add in more people. But luckily, we still have people coming through the door.
Yeah, from a couple other places.
We have a couple ads posted too that stay up pretty much year round to make sure we always have an influx.
Absolutely. So I think that's a lot of it, right? I think we were really prepared coming into the season. We just did not expect the season to kick off like it did. Mm-hmm. But man, because we did prepare, I think we were good. I think if we weren't prepared, or you deal with the other companies that you've talked to and I've talked to, we would have fallen on our face.
There's no way we'd be able to keep up right now.
No.
And I think part of it too is because the team in the office, whether they're in sales or numbers and finance or supervisors of departments, everybody knows the goal. Everybody's on board to hit the goal. So right now we're doing everything we can to get close to the goal.
Oh, yeah.
So everyone is like working together to really make it a good year.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then there's some crazy stuff like these. Everybody's like, oh my gosh, could we hit this number every week? And we're like, well, shoot, we're not that far off, right? And then you start backing out the math and like, oh my gosh, like we can hit this number. And then they're like, well, if we can hit that number, can we hit this number? So we have this with Dave that works for us does all the numbers. We have this whole like
forecast.
Yeah, forecast of like, okay, based on this top line, and we don't change anything on like our management team or whatever, how we have it structured out, and we add these trucks, like this is what our net profit should be at. Because we're really, really watching the net profit side and making sure like, okay, what do we need to do to bring that up as high as possible? There's a top line number, we'll coincide with a bottom line number, will give us the best bang.
Right.
I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you're seeing it on Call Boss too, right? So Call Boss just kicked off like about a week ago.
Thank goodness.
Yep. And then, but we've had 4 hiring classes. We have 1 more hiring class, and we're rolling. And then we're going 24 hours in basically 14 days, a little less than 14 days. And it's like that team's excited because it opens us up to a whole nother group of people, of companies.
Last year at this time, we were having multiple hiring classes to bring people in, and it's super cool to see. We just had our team meeting last night, and I had 3 people hit 1 year, another person hit 2 years, another person hit 3 years.
Yeah.
And that's impressive and amazing because they're sticking with us and they see the vision, they see the goal. But this year, preparation for the season, not only did we carry everybody through the winter, so we didn't lay off any of our good people, which was the goal.
Yeah.
But now it's like, okay, we're adding in, this is you said it, our 4th hiring class that's about to start in order to be prepared.
Right, our 5th is next week.
The 5th one, the 5th one's coming. And so to be prepared for this season and our 24-hour kickoff, we've hired 4, 8, 9, almost 10, 12 people to be part of the team to help us not only with like nights and weekends, but some sprinkled in daytime as well.
Yeah.
And so staffing over there has been great. Have we got all the updates from all the companies? No, not yet. But some of those companies have given us updates on these are the flyers we're dropping. These are the marketing things that we're doing. Our influx is coming within the next couple weeks, in addition to just regular in-season building, right? So we have all these companies that are gearing up. Some of them are mad busy right now. Some of them are starting to pick up, and it's like, okay, here we go. We're seeing all the things, but this is the season. This is what we gear up for every year.
Yeah.
So we're ready.
But it's pretty interesting, right? So like you can tell which companies are they're prepping themselves.
Seasoned.
Yes, more seasoned, yes.
Yeah.
You can tell which ones are more seasoned than others because you have others that like, it's like they're not paying attention necessarily. They're great people and they're, companies doing well, but it's like, it's going to hit them on the side of their head. And they're like, oh my God, and they're just like this panic mode.
Yeah.
And it's like, because you didn't do anything different from the year before.
Right.
Is that fair?
Yeah. And our leadership team reaches out to the companies like, hey, what's your plan for marketing? What's your spring sales look like? What are we doing? They're like, oh yeah, well, we don't really know yet. That's cool, but it's going to kick off. And when they figure it out and they're ready in like another month or so, they'll have missed the boat on a lot of stuff that's already happening.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it's like we have Capture. So Capture is our CRM system that we've done a ton of work, and that's exciting because last night we had our new update go out, and we've already had companies like, oh my gosh, this new update is amazing.
Yeah.
Which makes you feel good. But we did not want to release it because it was not ready. It's, so we didn't want to push it earlier, which would have been the selling season like December, January, beginning of February. But we would rather miss that window to make sure it's right. And then now that it's right, it's going out. I'm sure there'll be some tweaks and some bugs we got to work out. But still, it's like making the right decision instead of throwing a product out there that wasn't completely ready.
Well, we know a lot of people that are interested in the software when it comes out, but when you're coming from another software where you have all the things where they've had multiple releases to give you more, you're not going to want to step back into basic software. And I think where we was kind of basic at the time, but now we're looking at, okay, next phase for us is to have our automations go. Next phase is to have the QuickBooks sync that works. Next phase is, right? So there's different releases that are coming down the pipe, but we didn't want to put anyone in the software that already knew what other softwares could provide.
Right.
I don't want to step backwards for people that have a plan or a system in place, But for all my newbies out there that are looking for software and like I'm not really sure where to go yet with my service-based company, Capture is a great solution because it's really geared towards your field teams.
Right.
And so those guys that don't have a CRM or only have a few clients in there, they really should look at Capture because the use in the field is so easy.
Yeah, the use in the field. I think that's what it was. So there's several companies that use it now. Municipalities use it. Lots of blue collar workers or companies, but it was originally built by Mike and Karthik, and it was built from the field up, versus from up down into the field. And that's why they've been able to make it so simplistic and like very transparent, very clear to understand from the field. It's like picture based. So that part's been really good. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's understanding your season, right?
Right.
So it's understanding like we're going to miss our season and that's okay. There's some things we're going to have to do to prep for it, but like we'll hit it on the back end for some of the stragglers or whatever that, maybe made it through the busy season, but a little bit of, frustrated or whatnot.
Sure. I think we'll pick up a lot in the fall.
Yeah.
So it's slow. Typically in the landscape world, fall slows down a hair. There will be fall cleanups and prep for winter and snow and things like that. But I think we'll be able to grab a lot of people then. And then there's also other industries that have different busy seasons. So it may be busy for us, but slow for others. And so they can look at Capture as well. Yeah,
it's very interesting. So like the software or CRM system, like everybody's like, well, you need to pick a niche, right? And I'm like, I agree with that, but I also challenge that a little bit, just kind of what we're experiencing, right?
Right.
And so it'll be very interesting to kind of see where this goes, in the future.
Right.
Because what's interesting with us, we also have municipalities that use this and they love it. Like they love the way that it works from the field up. And so you start getting that experience from it. Or we have some massive companies that like it. They really like it, but they use juggernaut CRM system that's not great in the field. So they're trying to figure out, like, can we use both systems?
Really good for break and fix for them.
Yeah.
Municipalities, cities, large cities, small cities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So super interesting, like kind of walking through this right now and trying to figure it out.
Yeah, we were actually talking to banks too, because they have break and fix. Like everybody's got break and fix. So if you think about it, you want a solution where you can take a picture, capture the issue, geofence it, right? Put in the tag so people know. And then when the technician comes in to fix that, they know exactly where to go and exactly what to do. And it's picture based. So you've got pictures like, oh my gosh, this matches. So we just made it really easy for the end user.
Yeah, absolutely right.
It's going to be great.
That's going to be fantastic. It is fantastic. So, but again, it's understanding your season. So I think something just to consider, right? If you're in your season or you've been through your seasons, multiple seasons, learn from it. Go sit somewhere in a coffee shop or go for a walk or do whatever and really sit down and write that out. Like what went really well this year? What didn't go well this year? What do we need to work on this year, right? What do we need to make an adjustment on? How did it play out versus how I thought it was going to play out?
Right.
And I think really having an honest conversation with yourself and their team, that'll tell you a big story, right? Like, man, I was blowing smoke because I thought that this was all going to be fixed. Well, it wasn't fixed because you didn't put any actions in place, right? The hardest step is the first step.
Right.
And just being honest to yourself. And I think we've had a lot of honest conversations with each other about the business, and they don't feel good necessarily all the time, right? Because we dropped the ball or whatever. But at the same time, if you don't do that, then you're just going to make the same mistake over and over and over. Is that fair?
Yeah. Yeah, and for us, like with our teams, we sit down and have an annual focus day where we kind of go over the issues from the year before, plan for the next year, before we have our all-company meeting where we roll out the new goals for the new year and go over all the things with the whole team. Yeah. So we really try to dial in what worked, what didn't, how can we do it better, and make things work for the next season. Yeah, and I think you always got to kind of progress, right? And then I think there gets to a point where you're more the supporting cast, right? Holding people accountable, being the big cheerleader for everybody, and really trying to push the ball forward. Yeah. Yeah. And I do think that as the owner, it's not necessarily sitting at your desk all the time because you don't really see what everything is going on or what's going on. I think sometimes you're moving yourself and just really
like have an honest conversation with yourself. Really plan out what's going on this month, next month, first quarter, second quarter. You know, and I think that for me has been very, very valuable. You know, and I think that was something that I did not do for a long time. Fair?
As we grew our teams, that's when we started dialing that in more. And like today, we had that level 10 with our call boss team. And it was like, okay, how are we going to pivot? What are we going to do? And everybody's got strategic ideas that are really good for the team. And it's like, I used to have to do that all by myself. I used to have to do that with you. We used to come up with all the things. We figured out how to make it work. And now it's like, it's kind of a blueprint, but everybody else is bringing their ideas to the table. And now it's like, we're going to do this times 20, times 40, because we've got such a good team in place and everyone's working together again towards that common goal.
Yeah. Well, and so I walked in that meeting pretty I was like zinging because like there's all these other things going on and I got to lock in for this management meeting. And what is really good about that meeting, we do personal and professional on the start of our meetings. We should do it to all of our meetings. We do it for almost all of our meetings. And we went around and talked about things.
Personal, professional, what?
Good news.
Oh, good news. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. So I talk about the 3 companies we have, and I'll talk about personal. And so it was really, really good. But what's really funny about that team is dude, they were just cracking up.
Yeah.
With personal and professional. They were having a good time with it. And then it was just boom, light switch. All right, let's get down to business.
Yeah.
And then we handle business and then but it was good. It's they know kind of how to have a little bit of fun, laugh about it. And then let's get down to the nitty gritty. And that's going down to finalizing our 24 hours, what that looks like, how we're going to do it, what we're going to do to be successful.
Yeah.
Is that fair? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I think that was really good. I think that's it's nice to do. Nice when you can be able to do that. Have a team that's all hoorah on the same page.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that took years to do.
Right.
And if you don't communicate with your team, don't communicate with your team, and you don't tell them, you don't have to open your books necessarily to them, but being transparent, hey man, we lost these customers. This is how much revenue it is, or our close rates at this, and this is what's affecting that. Mm-hmm. Really understanding yourself, and then being able to portray that to your team, the ones that are affected by it. Hey, right. This is what the problem is. And what's interesting is once we started to become more open about that, people are oh my gosh, dang, that hurts to lose that customer. I'm yeah, it does, mm-hmm. Or hey, we landed these 3 because I'm doing those flyers or whatever,
Or we lost that teammate, right? So we had to have some open transparency. So we did lose a member of leadership at Call Boss a couple weeks ago. Mm-hmm. And it sucks because they're a great person. Yeah. I still really like them as a person. But when you're not working together anymore, you can't have the same relationship you had prior. Yeah. And so that's now ended. But at the same time, it was remind the team, sometimes there needs to be a change in order for us to grow. And unfortunately, they're not with us, but at the same time, everybody has picked up the pieces. The ball has not stopped moving, and everything is still pushing forward. Yeah. And some of the team reached out and said, we just appreciate the transparency. So being able to communicate with them, and it was just a season. The time was up, Yeah, there's no trash talking about that person, nothing. No. It's they all speak very highly of her. They all speak very highly of her, but it is but everybody also knew it just had to happen, unfortunately. Yeah. So, but communication, transparency, right? Be willing to work with your team, speak to your team, let them know kind of what's going on. Yeah, because without all the intricacies, but right. Yeah, people don't want to be in the dark. You don't want to be in the dark. No. Filling your teams in what's going on. Right. Hey, this isn't working, or that's not working, or this is kind of what I'm seeing. Can I get your feedback? It builds culture. It builds culture. Yeah. And I think culture is massive. It is. Yeah. So, do you think this is the best we've been prepared for a season? Yeah, it only took 14 years to get here. But yes, because I don't think we've had this growth before. Not this fast in the season, no. Yeah. We're talking Little Johns, but no. But again, we have key people in place so that nothing's really getting dropped. I mean, we did have a ball dropped the other day where we didn't get a job done the way that it was supposed to be. And rightfully so, we owned it. Like, yeah, that was our bad. We sucked at that.
Yeah. Yep.
So,
and I think that's the big part of it, right? You're going to make mistakes. So if you make a mistake, how are you going to fix it? And just like take responsibility for it.
Right.
You know, and I think that's the other thing. Yeah. And you got to be, customers in general are kind of interesting, right? So like we broke a window. We don't break a ton of windows, but we break our fair share. We probably should have a window company.
Yeah.
We broke a window within 2 hours. That window was being replaced. That is the fastest it has ever happened for us. And so our manager's like, man, I thought the guy would be happy. They're just mad as heck. They were so mad. And I was like, no way. We break a window within 5 minutes, I think it was, that our manager was on site because he happened to be right down the road. Had already called the glass guy. The glass company had to happen to have it in there and like had like some kind of crazy opening.
That part, because how often is it that it happens and they don't have the glass you need and we have to wait like 2 days or 3 days, and that part super sucks. But at the same time, you had all the stars aligned with that one.
Yeah.
And they still were happy.
Oh, they were ticked. But it was like, what was interesting is like, we debriefed on it a little bit and I was like, could we do anything different? They're like, no, based on these factors, like this is what happened. And I was like, man, but that's years and years of building good relationships. The team knowing what to do. I wasn't even involved. Like
I wasn't either.
Yeah, I knew the window broke. I knew it. I knew like everything was in place, but like they were dealing with everything. So it just is like very, very interesting. Like they perfected that one.
Yeah.
And still got.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it is what it is, right? But I think that's like being prepared, and I think being prepared isn't just like selling season or marketing material is like perfect. That's great. But like, are you ready as a team? Are you ready to handle what software you have? Do you have your phone systems answered? Is your team in the office ready to go? Like, do you have realistic expectations? We talk to Joy Kincaid every month, and she's like, okay, what's John's dream and what's a dream the team can hit, right?
Yeah.
So I think like understanding is like, okay, what's a realistic expectation?
Right. Yeah. So at the end of the day, are we ready for busy season?
Yeah, I think so.
I think so too.
I think so too. I think it's like go time out there right now. And it's really awesome that everybody's bought into it.
Yeah.
And that kind of warms you, a little bit.
Yeah.
So any last words of advice?
Just prepare. Anytime that you have prior to, prepare and see if you can map out a plan. It's going to derail anyways because stuff's going to go left. But if you have an outline, a basic blueprint, you'll get there.
Yeah, I think for me, it's this didn't happen overnight. It's 14 years of preparation.
Yeah.
14 years.
To really be dialed in.
Yeah, and I think you look at that, I take that in perspective. We had a meeting last night, our all-company meeting at Call Boss, and like to see everybody was on the screen.
We weren't all on the screen.
I know, it's crazy because there's so many people.
Over 30 people now and like 2 different screens because not all the squares would fit. So
it's pretty wild.
Yeah.
But I just thought in my mind, like, we literally started in a beat-up truck, a flatbed trailer, borrowed equipment, just barely making it, to we get Little John's, we grow it, we have a dream. We're not in survival mode anymore, but we were smart. We didn't go out and buy the big fancy truck and all the other stuff. We've been reinvesting for years. And then we started Call Boss because we see a need for it. Now Call Boss 7 years later is getting ready to go 24 hours. And it was
7 years.
7 years, crazy. So it's like it's starting to do its thing. And then we last year bought a CRM system. Nikki and I bought 50% of the company. And it's like, holy cow, man. We went from a broken piece of, truck to what Little John's is today, what Call Boss is growing into, and then being able to have
now be part of Capture.
And then everybody told me, I was like, oh, wow, software's for other guys. All right, man, that's cool. And to know that, like, holy cow, did we just...
Your competitive gene, here we are.
Here we are.
That's right.
But it's like, I want to figure it out.
Nowhere to go but up.
Yeah.
So we
all have our dreams.
We'll do it.
Yeah.
We'll
absolutely.
get there.
We'll get there.
So,
But all right, well,
hopefully this encouraged somebody. We know it's busy season. Don't pull out your hair yet. Call boss if you need some help.
man, yeah, just take a deep breath, man, because
Yeah.
guess what? You're going to have to get up tomorrow and deal with it.
Yeah.
You know?
And you can do it.
You can do it. Absolutely.
Perfect.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thanks for joining in. We'll see you on the next one.
See you on the next one.